Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. Today we're looking at Smart Factory Tycoon, which is the prologue, the beginnings, and this actually came out on Steam on the 5th of this month. The full game is still yet to be released. It's a city builder where you basically run a army of robots and try to make a profit. The game is punishing, and if you make a mistake during the tutorial stages, you will find yourself in a hole that you can't get out of. So bear that in mind. It is not an easy game, as easy as it looks. As always, we'll go through the options first, and then we'll jump straight into the gameplay. I will be starting a new game. In case you hadn't guessed, I was talking from experience with how easily I kind of got screwed over. So let's jump into it and not waste any more time. Okay, so I'm very happy to report that already the menu is pretty damn fantastic. You have so many audio sliders with this, it's really very pleasing to see. You've got your master volume, your music volume, your machines volume, your robot volume, your ambient volume, your vehicle volume, and your UI volume as well. So there is full amounts of customization here, so you can get the sound just how you want it. The video options are just as good. There is motion blur on the game, and I really don't understand why they've even added it in. You've got your VSync. You can choose your refresh rate. You've got a fair amount of options here. You've got 30, 60, 120, 144, and unlimited. You've got your brightness and your resolution scale, and then you've got preset, anti-aliasing, effects, post-processing, shadows, view distance, and texture. Again, with AA and TXAA, it would be nice if they had some values other than just ultra, but this is still a pretty good menu considering what the game actually is and how the game actually works. I wouldn't have expected something of this quality. Controls. Now, there is a thing in the game where you can have it so that your mouse scrolls, which is in gameplay. It is worth noting that whilst you kind of do want it on, you've got to be careful where your mouse goes, because if your mouse is left in the wrong place, you will end up the other side of the map. That being said, there are a fair amount of options here to change your keys and stuff, even though this can mostly be done with a mouse, to be fair. But it's nice that they've added it, and it's nice that it is indeed rebindable. And then your gameplay. Like I say, you've got your autosave frequency here, which is really nice. It would be nice if it added 5 minutes as an option. Or you can just switch it off and just save as you go. Your camera rotation, which is on mouse, and your edge scroll enabled. You can turn the edge scroll down, which I would probably actually advise doing quite a bit. You don't, like I say, want to end up the other side of the map. All in all, for a prologue, this is a pretty damn good menu, and what's better with this is that you can actually save the game and continue. A lot of prologues that I've played, especially the simulators that I've done, you can't save the game. It's not a thing because there's not enough of the game to save. Now, it does tell you quite clearly that with this prologue you can get to factory level 5, which seems fairly decent. That's a fair amount of game time for what you're getting. So let's jump in and see what the game's actually like, shall we? Alright, here we are. As you can see, it gives you a building to start with, and you are allowed to name it. So we're obviously going to go with the Asporium, because why wouldn't we? And then this presents the first issue I've got with the game, and that is the tutorial. The tutorial is fairly robust and does tell you everything, but it's not automatic, and it kind of leaves you with this sense of, have I done it, have I not? And there were times when I played this first time around where I would do things that were 2 stages in front of the tutorial, because the game kind of lets you just do whatever. But, you know, to play through the tutorial, it makes it a bit difficult, it makes it a bit disjointed, and it's not the best, if I'm honest. It does tell you all of the basics, but again, it could be better in that it could maybe hold your hand a bit more so you don't end up in a position where I was, where I spent all of my money because I built the zones too big, I spent too much on a robot, all of that kind of stuff that I could have saved myself from doing if the game hadn't have let me run riot. Maybe have a difficulty setting in the full game so that the tutorial is a bit more strict, or the game is a bit more strict with what you've got. Just a thought. But you can finish the tutorial at any time. So what you got to do first is you've got to go to construction mode. You want a production room. You don't want it too big, because the bigger it is, the more it will cost. And then you add a door. Done. And that's 1200, right? It's 1200 for a production room. So you only start with 12 grand, right? The game does not give you a lot of leeway at all. And you want a robots room on the other side. And that's really all you get to choose from to start with, which is not the best. And that's 1500, because it's a little bit bigger than that. So it is quite expensive to build your rooms to start. You then want to go to your machines. You're going to need a plastic injection machine. You can rotate the items, and rotating and moving about on the mouse is pretty simple and straightforward. Middle mouse button to rotate, just dropping it to the edge sort of thing to do that. It is important to note as well, if you don't hit the tick on anything and you click on anything else in the game, it will just cancel whatever you've done. It doesn't matter if you've made a room with a door or whatever, you have to press that tick. And then you also want a paint station. We'll put that over the other side. Hello, there you go. Bit of acceleration or a bit of lag going on there, and that's 500. So already we're down to 800 left. And then we're going to want the robot room. Need a charger for your robots. And a lubricator for your robots as well. And see there, look, I didn't hit the tick. Didn't hit the tick, which meant I lost all of my progress there, but that's fine. And there you go. Then you've got to buy your robots. See, the robots are really expensive, and this is where I kind of messed up a little bit. I bought the expensive robots for like 1400 or whatever to try and give me a bit of a boost, and it left me with no money for raw materials. So bear that in mind. Maybe go out and spend a little bit less and get yourself some robots that maybe aren't the best, but that will do the job. And I think they level up as you go along, which is really kind of cool as well. It's all about saving the money. Then you got to make some zones. We're gonna go in here to make a production zone, so, and we want to, oh no, try that again. Right clicking cancels, by the way, but you've got to right click on it once you've made it to make sure that you are on the right thing. And then we're going to make another zone out here, which is going to be our export zone. There you go. Perfect. And then what you got to do is you've got to do your orders. Now you've got this here. If this has a requirements thing, it means that you can't get the things that you need in order to make the product. So the only thing we can make at the minute is the duck. Then you've got to link the items that you want to use for the actual item that you're making, which is a bit of a... I understand it, because it means you can have multiple projects going once you've unlocked them and stuff, and you can link them to the certain things, have your robots working on the things you need to work on. But at the same time, it feels a bit finicky and a bit too many clicks. It's one too many times that I would like to be doing it. And then here you go. So it's going to cost me 660 to make, but I'm going to get 1,470, so I'm going to get 810. Now what I can do, since I've got 7 grand... is we can go up to 2. Now the reason why is because each day that passes you lose money. So the more robots you've got and stuff, the more money you're going to be putting out. So you've got to make sure you're going to have enough to actually come out with a decent profit on top. And then you hit execute and then they go off. Now you have got a speed up that goes all the way up to 10 times. And that is the game. Then once you've got enough money, you've got all your stuff together, you can then start adding more chargers, you can add better chargers, you can buy more robots, and you can start doing more projects. It really is that simple. It's a pretty fun little game. I like the idea of it. I like the fact that you are basically just making toys and things, and you're commanding this robot army. I feel like the game is a little bit too punishing for the style that they've gone with. I feel that this is going to appeal to a younger audience, and I can see a lot of people getting quite frustrated as they die early on, or rather lose out on money. Overall, though, as a city builder, it's not bad at all. I'm quite impressed. I quite like it. So there you have. Let me know what you think in those comments down below. Is this factory game one for you, or is it a bit too on the nose? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.